Time now to talk about the backhand, and we're actually going to talk about one of the most beautiful single-handed backhands, which of course is Stan Wawrinka, which has just won him his second Grand Slam title at the French Open mats. It is a thing of beauty. What makes it so special?
I think the fact that he can hit it down the line as well as cross-court. A one-handed backhand is much easier to hit it cross-court because you can come out on the outside of the ball and you can drive through it. Whereas down the line is where his backhand is so good because it's a higher part of the net. But because he's so strong and he is able to spin it so much, he can hit the backhand down the line. And that's, of course, how he won the French Open. Very fittingly, he hit a winner down the line on the match point against Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, really bullying Novak Djokovic with it, actually.
Yeah, and I think that's very unusual. It is very unusual because players, they like to play to their opponent's backhand, whether it's a better shot or a worse shot. It doesn't really matter. We try and set the point up because against most players, that's how you play into the ad court. Against Stan Wawrinka, you're going to have to rethink it a little bit because once he gets the rhythm on his one-handed backhand, it's a serious weapon. It's most probably a better shot than his forehand, and that's very rare. We always talk about the backhand being a very strong shot, and it's not really better than the forehand, but with Stan Wawrinka, I think that is the case.
I mean, it's such a beautiful stroke, isn't it? Aesthetically, it's very pleasing, but in terms of the sort of the rhythm of his backhand, it's such a smooth swing. It's almost like a golf shot, isn't it?
Yes, it is very smooth, and I think the big difference between let's say, his backhand and a one-handed backhand like a Roger Federer or a Grigor Dimitrov is that Stan Wawrinka, I always try and tell amateurs that you mustn't open up with your chest, because once you open up with your chest, you tend to come off the shot. But Stan Wawrinka, he has such good timing that he hits it and then he opens up his chest as well. So he adds that little bit of extra power. Whereas if you watch Roger Federer or Grigor Dimitrov, they tend to hit it and nearly go the other way with their chest, making sure that they don't open up. But Stan Wawrinka, it helps to be strong.
Yeah, I was just going to say, where does that strength come from? Because he's very powerfully built, isn't it? Is a lot of the strength coming from his legs or is it from the upper body?
I think it's both. I think it's timing, first of all, of course, but then I think it's upper body strength mainly. I think that the difference between his backhand and other one-handed backhands is that there is no weakness. He can hit it from low down, but he can also hit winners from up above his shoulder.
Which is unusual, isn't it, for a single-hander?
That's nearly impossible to do. So Stan Wawrinka, of course, the ball doesn't bounce as high here at Wimbledon as they do on other surfaces, so his backhand is not going to be quite as effective, but he needs his backhand to be working at 100%, otherwise he's not going to have a chance of winning Wimbledon.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Well, it's certainly not to be missed, the Stan Wawrinka backhand.